Welcome back. Today I have taken out the Avenger, and this one is specifically for one of the viewers that was asking for a video where you um show myself sniping to try and support the team and their push towards the objectives. Unfortunately, um in my opinion, the best map to do this on is Hurton Forest, and I did show that in the Object 120 video that I posted a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to try and show it on a different map to show that it can be done on other maps. And you can do it on this map, and I have another video sort of lined up as well that might show it similarly. But I felt the Avenger was actually a really good vehicle for this. It doesn't have the greatest reverse, but it's got good mobility to get into these positions. It's got a pretty good gun to deal with anything. And a lot of the tanks that you're going to face around these BRs are KV-1s. And the Avenger doesn't exactly deal with them in the best way frontally, so it's a good way to deal with them from the side. The downside to this video that we're going through right now is that while the Avenger does a very good job in this game, and while I feel like I did the task that I was set quite well, the team has really let me down. And it's unfortunate. I try to help the team every time I go into a game, but sometimes, you get those games where your team just, you've the teammate that might die once and they leave, and it's unfortunate. Maybe they got a really unlucky death and they feel really hard done by with it. And we're going to start targeting our first serious threat. And this is what I want to be showing in this video. I know I'm kind of switching over to a new topic immediately, and I'm really bad for that. But what I want to focus on with the support sniping, and something I feel is really important with this, is picking off specific targets that are at range doing the same job as me. And that Japanese vehicle, I believe it's a Japanese vehicle, I could be wrong. It might be that Italian 90mm thing. I'm not sure. I think it's Japanese. But it was the Italian, the 9053. But I want to be taking out those high priority targets. That gun on that vehicle is easily able to penetrate anything, as this T-34 thought. He had more depression than he did, I'm guessing, I don't know. Or maybe I had a longer reload than it looked. The reload on this thing is fantastic. If you've never played it, really, really recommend taking it out. But you'll see, by the end of this clip, you'll notice that I'm spawning and playing. I spawned 3 times in this game. And unfortunately, look, most of the times when I see games like this, after one death and after I'm doing a good job, I most of the time just back away out, because the chance of turning the game around is slim. I like to give it a chance most of the time, and you can see now we're really starting to put pressure on the enemies that are thinking, okay, we can push up. I'm trying to give my teammates a really good chance to come back into the game. You can see that they all kind of got taken out very quickly. And you can see there's a good stream of them coming back up. So I'm thinking at the moment that there's a good chance here for recovery, and it's a good opportunity for this vehicle to shine. I'm realizing I'm kind of struggling with this Sherman, but we're going to give it another go. We do get him eventually. And we really are, you can see there is a teammate pushing all the way up on the right hand side, and I'm really trying to pick off the enemies that could be getting a side shot on him. It's a Concept 3, he's very lightly armored, and he's got a very good gun. And so trying to deal with everything around him to allow him to keep pushing up is going to in turn give my teammates a good chance to push back up. So that's the aim of this clip. Keep targeting enemies, keep the pressure on, keep the focus on me, the sole tank out in the middle of nowhere. That's hard to target. And the Concept 3 picks up a kill on the KV-1, and I take the opportunity now to switch focus. I see that there's 3 teammates and they're starting to get picked off, but I've already committed to trying to push up to try and get Bravo. We take KV1 down. I'm thinking, okay, we'll turn around now and switch our focus again. It was important to take that KV1 out as well. If any of you are around this BR, well, you know, that KV1 sitting on that hill up there, looking into the spawn that I drove out of at the beginning, is a serious threat. It's hard to take him out. He has a gun good enough to pen you at range, sort of. We take a BT5 out there, another quite dangerous tank if it gets on your side, even if it's out of BR. And a very unfortunate, unknowing Sherman. And we are really locking down this right side. We have a good few teammates kind of stuck in and around the C grid square on the map. And we're really pushing forward now. Bad shot from me. I'm just thinking now, I need to try and save this game. Need to try and neutralize it, try and get the enemies to start pushing out of where they're sitting in, to try and get my teammates who are now sitting in sniping positions, or, you know, I don't know what exactly they're doing, but we catch this poor little milk truck off guard, and then I just don't have the depression. Thankfully, I take out the driver, and it throws his shot off slightly. And then we start getting bum rushed by a BT7. Or BT5, I'm not really sure what it is, BT5. The milk truck starts getting going again. And I am freaking out now, and he thankfully hits the pole. I was almost certainly going to end up getting killed there. We take him out, we get the cap on Charlie, something has taken the cap on Alpha. And it's full focus now on stopping the enemies coming back in. We take the transmission out on the AA. And he is going to get strafed in about now. Very fortunate for the Corsair. Something else is pushing in. I decide to go on the attack again. And unfortunately, a bushed up KV1's S5 takes us out. Has 10 kills. Look, unfortunately, as you can see, the team is pretty much after falling apart. We do try to come in with a Wyvern and then come in with the Avenger again after. It just didn't work. But that hopefully shows a bit of sniping that is quite useful in the game. This second video I wanted to highlight the opposite side of the coin. I feel like the video last week went down really well, where I showed the 2 different thought processes, where if you cut off your head and start running all around the place, yes, it can go really well. The downside to that is that you often find yourself out of position. You could find yourself in a really bad situation. With a vehicle like the Avenger, you really don't want to be doing that because you've no reverse. So I tend to play every vehicle more or less the same. If I have a really good reverse gear, I can afford to put myself in a bit more of a risky situation, sure. Why would you? At least that's my way of thinking, so you'll often see me playing the exact same way with all the different vehicles. I often find that it means that playing light tanks don't really work for me. I tend to have a better time with heavy tanks and medium tanks because they kind of suit that thought process better. Light tank is all it really is. If you want to be getting the most out of a light vehicle, it really is cut your head off and run. But yeah. So what's happening in this video, I'm doing the same thing. I was thinking the same way in this one. I'm going to go off to the side and I'm going to try and cut off this left hand side. If you've played this variation of this map, what you'll often find is that there is someone sitting on this hill and they dictate how many of you can get out of your spawn when you respawn. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'm going to do the opposite. And I'm just going to start bullying them coming over the hill. And this was my second game, I think, in the Avenger, so please give me a break on the missed shots. I couldn't understand the muzzle velocity on this cannon. It's deceptively slow. But we do start lining up shots. We do miss a good few opportunities, and that's understandable when when you're playing a vehicle for the first time in a long time, and it has a completely different muzzle velocity to what you're used to. You're going to be missing shots. But the idea here is that because no one has come out to this side, as I was expecting someone to be coming out here, but because no one did, I've been able to just sit here and start bullying everyone coming up onto the hill. And if you look on the right hand side of the map in the bottom corner, you can see that I have teammates on that hill already. And that's just because I've stopped the enemies from focusing on that hill, and now their focus is on me. And you can see I've positioned myself now to defend myself from that right side and prepare for enemies to start pushing towards me, which they already are. So now we can divert our attention again from holding this and start focusing again on the right hand side. We want to be the most annoying person on the team. When you're support sniping, you want the enemies to know, hey, I'm here and you need to deal with me first before you can deal with my teammates. And because of that, look at how many teammates are in and around the objective. They're pushed out. They are very intelligent teammates, if I'm being honest. They're all sitting in and around buildings. They're not exactly bum rushing it towards the enemy spawn. They are sitting in and around the cap, and they're just picking off the enemies. So I feel like I've done my job well here. I've definitely done the job well of clearing the opposite side, even if it is only 1 or 2 kills. That 1 or 2 kills means that 3 of my teammates are now sitting on that hill. It just stops the enemy team from getting out, and it has worked really well in this game, if I'm being honest. And it's a good way to highlight the way the enemies are thinking, or what the enemies could have done better to stop this situation from happening. If one enemy had come out this way instead of rushing in towards Alpha, this probably would not have happened. Or, you know, there could have been a trade. There could have been, the enemy could have won and then could have stopped our team from winning. You know, there's a lot of things that could have happened, and I'm not saying that I am the sole reason why we are winning this game. Obviously our team has had a very good time in and around Alpha because most of our teammates have ended up surviving and are pushing through. So the enemies obviously severely lost that little capture point as well. But I do think the ability to draw the attention of the enemies on the opposite side of the map over to this side, allowing either teammates to clean them up or myself, has made a big difference here. And now I'm going to be bullying the enemies coming out of their spawn because, well, we have very luckily avoided that con. And we have our armor pointing forward. And we have a nice bit of tree cover here as well. We'll use that to take off another enemy or two. I'm realizing now that Bane is going to really struggle to take me out, so I'm not concerned about him anymore. Waiting for that enemy to stop being invulnerable.
Armor piercing loaded.
And there was an ASU-57 that I shot there. I'm going to try and keep him up as well. Fortunately, we only get the commander. I was trying to get the best shot possible there because realistically the round is just going to go straight through him. Anyway, this is going to be the end of the video. It was a 7-kill game in this one. If you enjoyed it, if you liked the way the video was done again this week, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. I'll see you in the next one. And happy Christmas if I don't see you before Christmas. See you later.